Testing, testing, 1, 2. Hey, everybody. We're going to start in 10 minutes. Hey, everybody. And we're live on YouTube. Let's see. Stand action. I do a pop out. Look at that. I wonder if I could do a pop out chat. All right. So we're using Zoom and we're using YouTube. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And let's get back to the show. There we are. Whoops. But hey, yeah. There. All right. So we're going to start in about 8 minutes or so. In the meantime, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. All right. Cool. You should have a chat feature on your side and a Q&A feature on your side. If you want to say hello and tell everybody where you're from, I'll start it off. Ready? Hey, it's Ben, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. Hello, y'all. That's how we talk down here. So we do free live, open to everyone webinars for home inspectors, but you could be a homeowner, you could be a renter, you can be an investor, you could be a real estate agent, and get some good information from here. And today's Saturday morning, 8:30 ET, June 8th, 2024. Hey, Maurice, how are you? And we're doing a live webinar. All InterNACHI webinars are free, live, online, open to everyone. Don't have to be a member of InterNACHI. We do all kinds of things. We do business, marketing, home inspections, some technical training. We have inspectors teaching other inspectors on our webinars. We have special guests, real estate agents. So it's a great platform for getting together and learning a little bit more. And what else am I going to do on a Saturday morning, right? Sleep in. Hey, Anita from San Antonio, Tony from Georgia, Daniel from Largo, Florida. Daniel, is that near Orlando? I don't know where Largo is. InterNACHI's national convention is coming up in just a few months in October in Orlando, Florida. So maybe you can make it there. Yep, I got you up early on the West Coast. Maurice is from Central Oregon. Yeah, it is beautiful in Oregon. We're wondering where we were going to move. We moved from Boulder, Colorado, couldn't take it anymore, and wanted to live near normal people. So we picked the East Coast instead of the West Coast. And so I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. I got family up and down the coast. Tampa, Florida. Awesome. Okay. So keep logging in. We're going to start in about 5 minutes or so. Give plenty of time for people to show up. Where I'm from, if you're on time, you're late. Got a few URLs. If you wanted to know where 30 people are who want to work on your business, well, we're on the contact page. There are 30 people, full-time staff at InterNACHI, and they are there to help you be successful in your home inspection business. So leverage that resource. That's one of the keys to success in any business. Don't do it alone. When you're starting off, yeah, you're in your basement, in your garage, dining room, a corner of your bedroom, and on your computer, or maybe you're making a product, but doing a home inspection, you got a bag of tools, you have a vehicle, and you got a computer with some software, and you're just banging it out. You're doing everything, learning how to perform inspection, learning how to grow and get business and make that phone ring or make that website convert into scheduled clients. So you're doing everything, but eventually you're learning that you don't have to do everything. You have to have systems in place. You have to have processes in place, just like you have a checklist to do an inspection in place to help guide you so that you don't make a lot of mistakes and that you are efficient with your time. Same thing. So leverage InterNACHI's resources. As a member of InterNACHI, it's like having ever go to we're going to Florida for our convention. And I think there's a Disney something down there. I never raised my kids on Disney. But people love it because you go into this amusement park through one door and you get to ride all the rides. Same thing with InterNACHI. InterNACHI is this huge organization of rides, of training, education, certification, business, marketing, resources. And you get to ride any of those. You get to leverage, use to your advantage any of those resources that InterNACHI provides. And our job is to overwhelm you with incredible value in relation to the cost. So you pay a membership fee and you get through the door and a whole world of opportunity opens up to you. An InterNACHI webinar is open to everyone. And that's at nachi.org/webinars. 30 people who work for you, that's at nachi.org/contact. A webinar, nachi.org/webinars. If you need step-by-step help in becoming a successful home inspector and running a successful home inspection business on your own, or if you want to expand and hire your first employee or inspector or office manager, or maybe even hire your 10th one, that's at nachi.org/everything. And don't spend a lot of money on a website. InterNACHI's official vendor for inspector websites builds all InterNACHI member websites. And that's at nachi.org/website. You got to get your business online. Think of your website as an employee who works for about $1 a day, and they work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they have one job. And that one job is convert visitors into scheduled clients. And so you go into the admin back end of your website design that InterNACHI's official vendor provides you. to measure if your employee is doing their job. It's called website analytics. So if you have a website right now, can you tell me if your employee, your website, that you should be only paying $1 a day? Can you tell me if your employee is doing their job? Yes or no? Do you have any data? Do you have any real numbers? Do you have any idea what's going on? Do you know if your marketing is working? When you send out your marketing or your emails or your texts and you bring people back to you, to your website, in order to get more information or or get their report or to schedule a job, do you know if it's working? A lot of home inspectors don't. So we forced InterNACHI's official vendor for inspector website designs to provide access to all analytics. And that's what you should demand from your website provider. You want to know if this employee is doing their job, and don't pay more than $1 a day. Okay. NACHI.org/website for more information. Let's inspect this home, shall we? We're on YouTube. I've never monitored the YouTube chats, but I think we're live on YouTube. So I'm looking and let's see if anybody says anything on YouTube. Okay. But really, I'm going to focus on the webinar platform, the live attendees, right? And I see there's many of us. We had almost 300 people register. Not everyone's going to show up on a Saturday morning. That's fine, because every InterNACHI webinar is recorded. Do homes normally have a firewall between the garage and the home? It's required by code, yes. If you're inspecting something very old and it was built to code back then, maybe not, right? But there, in the past, a lot of people, mostly a bunch of guys drinking beer, young men drinking beer, working on their cars, because that's what they used to do when I was young. And we would start fires in garages, right? The battery would make a spark and it'd catch the engine on fire and then, burn dad's house down. So that's why there should, yeah, okay, Mark. That's why we need to give the fire department about a half an hour to get to the garage. And so that's a firewall. It's rated for a half an hour. Some are rated more. But yeah, there has to be some protection between the garage and the still. Even though I guess in 10 years we'll all be working on electric cars. Maybe they catch on fire more. I don't know. Okay. Welcome everybody. I'm Ben Gromyko from InterNACHI, and this is an InterNACHI webinar, and that's at nachi.org/webinars. And we do webinars all the time. They're free, live, open to everyone. You can register, and everyone who registers will receive a video recording. So if you miss it, no big deal. Just you can watch it later. And we're going to inspect this house. And as you can see, I inspected this house in the wintertime. So this is going to be kind of fun. Right now it's June in the summertime, and we're going to take a look at what I do in the winter. This is a cold climate house. Here's some URLs and my name. If you want to contact me, email is best. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And if you wanted to leverage 30 people who work for you as an InterNACHI member, that's at nachi.org/contact. Contact anybody at InterNACHI and ask them the following question, right? What can you do to help me with my home inspection business? You can ask each one of those 30 people that question. nachi.org/webinars is where we have all the live webinars you can register for and watch all the video recordings of past webinars. nachi.org/everything is where we have a 15-step checklist to success. So if you're looking for something, I tried to put everything there, nachi.org/everything. And if you need a good website with SEO and chat and live data analytics, nachi.org/website. Let's inspect this home. Do you think this is a problem? I do. I think that's a major problem. That wallpaper is ugly. Oh, I meant the crack. Sorry, the crack here. Now let's use this fancy thing I've got, right? So there's a diagonal crack, and it looks like this is a ceiling and maybe a floor structure, right, at a corner, and it goes from corner to corner. There's a door opening, and there's a doorbell. Do you think this is a problem? Not the watering can, not the chip from the concrete. Do you think this is a problem? Right? How about this? And what is that? What am I using? And what is in there? What am I looking at? And if you're a homeowner, it's really about like taking a look around in your home. Like today is Saturday morning, and today I get to have fun at my house. I get to go around and I have a few things to fix. And that's what a home inspection report can do for you. A home inspector can go around and tell you all the things, the little things that you need to catch before they become problems that are too big for you to fix yourself on a Saturday morning and you need to hire a contractor. And home inspectors are trained to look at things and tell you, yeah, this is a problem and you should attend to it. And this is why. And this is how you're going to do it. So, do you think this is a problem? How about this? Do you think this is this looks fantastic? What's wrong with this? Right? How about this? Is that a problem? I like the dog. And this one. This is a good one. This is an oldie but a goodie for you inspectors who know. They don't make them like this anymore. And how about this? Is this a problem inside the electrical panel? Is that a problem? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What is the title of the stream on YouTube? I don't know. Just search for InterNACHI. I have no idea about titles and streams. I'm sorry, Joseph, but just it's InterNACHI's YouTube channel. Hey, Jack Porter from Orlando, Florida. Jack, InterNACHI's having a big home inspector convention in Orlando in October. Just email somebody on staff if you wanted to come. We're feeding everybody for a few days too. If you wanted to be a member of InterNACHI and you've never been one before, go to nachi.org/trial, TRIAL, and enter that code webinar month to have a free 1 month trial. If you wanted a big discount, 50% off discount off your first year, and if you've never been a member before, same URL, nachi.org/trial, and enter the coupon code webinar. The only home inspector college on planet Earth is InterNACHI School. Don't go to any unaccredited college. Just look for the .edu. Look for an accreditation from the U.S. Department of Education, from the National Accrediting Agency recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. We're a real college and we're a tuition-free college. Remember that amusement park that I was talking about? If you're a member of InterNACHI, you have a ticket to get inside the amusement park called InterNACHI, and inside is a college. And every course that you take, you're actually taking a college course, an accredited college course. It can be transferred to other colleges if they accept the credit. You get a student ID. You can get a discount on movies. You get certificates. You get a transcript. That's at internachi.edu. And my interest is getting home inspectors online with a good, fantastic website that works for them, that makes them money, that has SEO and live chat features and online scheduling and all that good stuff. Just go to Google right now and type Inspector Website Builder.com. Inspector Website Builder. Inspector Website Builder is InterNACHI's official vendor for website designs. Inspect this home. We're going to inspect the home. We're going to learn how it works. We're going to find problems. We're going to follow a standards of practice. We're going to use inspection software. We're going to read the report. We're going to learn how to get certified. We can talk about business and marketing. You can ask questions. You can chat with each other. And I'll try to answer everyone's questions. And if you need to leave, do it. You can watch later. If you registered at nachi.org/webinar, you'll get an email with the link to the video recording to watch later. And success depends upon several keys. One of them is, we already talked about it, being able to leverage systems, processes, or to be able to delegate down, delegation. Delegate down to a system or delegate to someone else to do some work for you. When you have a website, you're essentially having an employee who works for you all the time. And they have one job to convert that website visitor into a client. And you've delegated that work to someone else. That's a key to success. You have to be able to delegate down. And it's either to an electronic process or a human being, right? Maybe it's a subcontractor as well. And to do all that, you have to pay attention to the amount of time. Essentially, when you delegate $1 a day to a website, you're paying, for that website's time. When you pay somebody $100 to hang out with you and do a home inspection with you as a helper, you're paying for their time. Money is kind of like time. So time is really important when you're trying to make money as a business owner. You have to be efficient with your time. Time management is a skill that develops. And you can develop that quickly by doing inspections on your own home where there's no risk. Doing inspections for your friend's house, on your friend's house, or your family member's house, or your neighbor's house. A real estate agent, do a free inspection on their house. And learn how to manage your time. Do an inspection, great, and manage your time. So this is my actual time during the day that I manage. I leave the house at 7 because I want to get to my first job at 8. My next job is at 12, 12:30, something like that. So I leave early and I get to the job early so I can inspect the roof. That's the one system where I don't want my clients following me. I don't want anybody following me. So I do that on my own. Might as well do that first. Might as well get there early. I don't need the seller to be home. Just need access. If I can get up on the roof, I will. If I can use a drone, I will. If I can use a ladder, I will, because I'm trained on ladder safety. And then 8 o'clock, I meet my clients in the driveway. Big smile, great first impression. Tell them what's going on. And I inspect the exterior, with or without them. Doesn't matter. And then I do the heavy lifting. I get into the basement or the crawl space or the utility room somewhere where there's all the big systems. And that's HVAC, plumbing, water supply, water draining, water heating, electrical and structure. And then I go to the attic. If I'm in the attic 2 hours after I start, I'm on time. And I know I'm going to make money because I'm managing my time well. The interior in the bathrooms, garage, laundry, kitchen, it's an hour altogether. And I end up in the kitchen. I like to end up in a place where everyone really loves to hang out, where we summarize everything. I talk about everything that I can, answer all questions, make sure my client is 100% satisfied. If they have an agent, same thing. And then I ask to be paid. And I wrap things up. Ideally, you would also ask, when everyone's happy, for a Google review. Everyone does it. You can just click a button on their phone, on your phone, have it all set up. So it's very easy. Just give them a moment, 30 seconds. Bing. Right then and there. It's so important. That ties in with the website. You can have a website and no one knows about it. But Google loves reviews. Google loves the testimony of total strangers saying that you did a great job. Get those reviews. Okay, time management. Here we go. It all starts with the standards of practice. For me, the standards of practice are really important. It's the foundation of everything that you do during an inspection. It tells you what to inspect. And almost more importantly, it tells you what not to inspect. It tells you what you're required to do and not required to do. And if you share it with your client, you are setting their expectations. So you're both on the same page. Can you see through walls? Standards of practice says you do not see through walls. And if you tell your client, hey, I don't see through walls, what do you mean? Here's my standards, right? Let's get on the same page. Have them in the inspection agreement agree that they have read and understood the home inspection standards of practice. That's important. Roof is the first section of the standards of practice, and it's the first thing that I inspect for the reasons we talked about. I like to get there early. I don't like anybody following me. And it's probably the most dangerous part of the home or building inspection, the roof, because you can fall. You can fall off the second ladder and break a leg bone. You could fall off a flat roof and it be fatal. So I want to do that first. No one around. So I can think about safety every step, every grip of my hand on the ladder, if you're going to use a ladder. Same thing with a drone. You want to be safe with that thing. There's me. That's that must be the 28 foot. I think that's a 28-foot Louisville fiberglass ladder. I love them. They make the best. And I just want to get up on the roof. No, I'm sorry. I want to get up to the roof. I am not going to walk on this roof. And I can see that there's two reasons why. One, obvious, there's snow and ice. I'm going to slip right off. But actually, if it was a warm day and the roof was dry, I'm not going to get on it because it's a wood shingle roof. I park away from my clients. I don't park in my client's driveway. And I take pictures of the environment. Like there's a lot of snow. I can't see what's going on. Let's say that there's a septic system there and it's failing and there's a big patch of green grass, maybe even water there. I can't see things. I want my client to understand that my client and I are on the same page, that this is a restriction of my visual only inspection. I can only do so much. So the pictures are worth 1,000 words. I can't see hardly anything, but I'm going to do this inspection. I can see that some galvanic corrosion, dissimilar metals between the steel and the aluminum. There's a chimney stack. Wish I could get up close to it. I'd love to see the top of it. I'd love to see this flashing around this vent pipe of the roof. This is another angle of the same system. I'm looking at it from the ground now. Looking at where the ends of gutters meet an exterior wall of the house or an exterior wall of the chimney. Wherever there's an end of a gutter that meets an exterior wall of a house, especially when the exterior covering, the siding, is stucco. You need a piece of flashing right here above the gutter end and above the bottom corner where the drip edge is. It's called a kick out flashing. It's supposed to kick out water, kick that water, divert that water away from the siding and into the gutter. It's so important. If it isn't there, there's a potential for water to go behind the stucco and no one knows about it and start to rot. All these pictures just help me explain that I can't see anything about these skylights. For example, can't see what's going on there. Some places where I can get up on the roof, get up to the roof, sorry. I'm going to take a look where the roof covering meets a wall. There should be flashing there. I do my best. I brush off what I can see. Want to show my client I'm doing my best to see what's going on, identify the roof covering material at least. It's snowing today, and unfortunately I can't see your wooden shingles very much at all. Only in areas where I was able to brush away. Okay, I do a little video. You should. If you use software like Spectora, great software, you can embed videos into your inspection report. When I was a home inspector, man, I did videos, and that distinguished myself from all of my competition. But there wasn't an easy way to share those videos back then. Now it is. In fact, I envision that in 10 years, you'll be probably doing video instead of typing. Instead of typing with your fingers or your thumbs, we'll all be, you can do it now. You can talk into your software and convert it into text. You can also do video, and that does a transcript, and that converts it into text as well. I think it would just be much easier to do a visual home inspection using a camera, maybe a chest mounted, almost 360, maybe a 180, right? Like a security camera that some law enforcement officers wear. Maybe something on your glasses, maybe something on your hat. I don't have my head protection. I have a hat that you can have a helmet that you can give. You can mount a camera, something like that. Click a button, it converts everything you said into text. And it's getting so smart that it'll convert what the video sees, a component, and it will produce text for you. So that's how I see it. Get into video. You should be doing a lot of inspection pictures and a lot of video. I mean, would you rather read Instagram posts or watch videos on Instagram? So lots of pictures, okay? Did I leave my client hanging like that? Nope. So we had a policy in our company to go back when there's no snow, when there's no restriction. Go back, help them out. They're in my neighborhood. I'm driving around all over the place doing, radon drop-offs and other types of inspections. I've got an extra 15, 20 minutes to grab my ladder. No one needs to be home again. Again, no one needs to be home. Let me take a look at the roof when there's no snow. So that's what we did. Several days later, it's not all melted, but it's melted enough for me to tell my client I'm confident in knowing the condition, the general condition of the roof covering materials. And now obviously you could see that it's wood shingle, wood. Now I'm looking for, on a wood shingle roof, shake roof, I'm really a cedar. I'm looking for missing pieces. I'm looking for curling. They're not all going to lie flat. This is a natural component. But one is missing. So I found one. Okay, got it. The rest of the roof looks fantastic. Really does. And while I'm up there, I'm getting closer and closer. I could see now flashing where the roof meets the chimney stack. That's good. I like to get in there, show my client I can see more. There's that flat. Remember that same vent pipe? Now I can see the flashing is installed where it was covered with snow. Chimney stack, I can see all the corners, all the sides, and now I'm just looking at this line. Whenever there's a break in the line, that means probably there's a missing shingle. So my eye goes like that, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, just looking for a break. No, it looks good, it looks good, it looks like that, like that, like that, like that. It's a good shingle. It's actually a really good shingle. If you don't know how to inspect a roof or a wood shingle roof or any type of roof with any type of roof covering material, go to any NACHI.org page, NACHI.org, click Get Started, go to Training and Education, and type in what you want to inspect. Is it a wood roof? Okay, we got it. Inspecting wood, shingle, and shake roofs. We have an online course, and it's a video course. So
Both
there's Kenton, master inspector, one of our lead instructors, and he'll tell you what to look for on a wood shingle roof. He's got lots of pictures with him too. Let's see, and diagrams as well. Let's go back to that page. Let's say it's slate. Yeah, we have a slate roof, of course, right? Let's say it's I don't know, just a good old shingle roof, asphalt shingle roof. We have that as well. So that's InterNACHI's job. If you don't know how to inspect something, we'll have a course for you, and we'll help you gain that knowledge that you need. And then you take that knowledge and apply it to develop that skill, that ability into a skill. So what I did was I came back after the snow melted and I just did an addendum letter and I attached it to the original inspection report. Let's go to exterior. I'm thinking of this when I inspect the exterior of a home or a building, even a commercial building. I think of rain. Doesn't matter what climate I'm in. I could be in Arizona. I'm still going to think about rain and how it moves. It hits what first? The ridge, the roof. It's got to be sloped, and then it drips off and it hits the exterior wall covering and then other components. And each component where it intersects that wall, maybe there's a drainage plane or there's flashing. How does water, how is, just like we manage time, how does a house manage water? It should be designed to manage water. Home inspectors should be designed to manage their time. A house should be designed to manage water and also other things like energy. But we're talking about the exterior now. So I have this in mind. This is an illustration from InterNACHI's gallery. This could help you do better inspections if you study it. It also helps you communicate to your clients what you're looking at and how you're looking at, and some things that they should be paying attention to as well. It could help boost the quality of your inspection reports. We have thousands of illustrations. I think I drew that one, so it's not very good. There are other better illustrations in our gallery. And I think of how the rain comes down from the gutters, down the downspouts, and right here is an inspection restriction. This is a typical underground drainage pipe. You can get it at the Home Depot or Lowe's. And it's connected here. Sometimes it's loose here. And you should watch for overflow. There could be erosion around here. If there's like landscaping chips or mulch, it will be washed away. If it's not, it's draining through. Here's another component. I cannot comment on things that I cannot see. I can comment on this. This should be diverted away from the house. You want to have downspouts discharging a lot of rainwater far away from the house, and even the ground sloped away from the house. It's going underground. So I look for the gutter, the downspout attachment, and then it comes down the house. And remember, there's this part where every end of a gutter that comes in contact with exterior siding, stucco especially, there should be a kickout flashing here. So I'm looking at that. That is a problem. We have a problem here. If you zoom in, there's no kickout flashing. I'm not sure how much water is coming down this, but what if there is a lot of water? What would it look like? What would it do? That flashing should be right there, and it should be kicking out that water from the wall into the gutter. And what would happen is you'll see watermarks below this area, either inside or outside, or below this area at the very bottom of the wall where it's unfinished. maybe down in the basement or crawl space. And you'll see effects of water like cracking, staining. I don't care too much about staining. That's cosmetic, but cracking of the exterior covering caused by water, that's something I'm interested in. They have these covers over window wells. There's a window in here, so I know I've got probably a basement. Crawl spaces usually are the windows are above grade, not necessarily, but this is probably a basement. It's really just a guess, but I looked it up on the listing, so I know it's a basement. But you can see vegetation, so you can see the leaves wanting to get out. There's something, there's a lot growing on in there, and it just wants to come out. So we should let them out. Should clean all that up. Shouldn't have vegetation growing in a window well. It kind of defeats the purpose of keeping things dry around your basement windows. And these areas here, they're screwed into the stucco. Should we tap them with some sealant? This is a water path. I don't know how much water, probably none, right? But it's a water entry point. And there's a water entry point. We're in the window well, which is made out of plastic, a few dollars could be replaced, or, doesn't have to be. It's cracked here. Just little minor things. These are not major things. I would say the missing shingle on the roof is a major thing. It's major because most homeowners can't get up on the roof and fix a wood shingle roof or any kind of roof. They can't do any kind of repairs on a roof. So a major is where you need a contractor. Minor is where you can, if you want to, get a screwdriver, pop these screws out, replace it with a new window well. Clean the window well look at the tree growing out of the window. This is a tree. There's a tree growing out of the window well. That's fun. It's fun for me to inspect and help other people with their homes, maintaining their homes. We're just trying to keep our homes safe, functioning, and healthy. And a home inspector plays a fantastic role in your community. Every home should be inspected by a home inspector to help homeowners out. This is an outdoor water spigot. It's frost proof. When you turn off the water, it actually drains out so it doesn't freeze in the wintertime. There's the side of the deck while I'm looking, around in the window wells that are overgrown and doing the water faucets. I'm looking now at the next component around the exterior. I basically move in the same direction around the house a couple times with my client or not. And this is the deck now I bump up across. So as I move around, I'm actually writing my inspection report. As I move through the house, remember, according to my time management, I'm actually writing my inspection report on a mobile device. So get software that works on one of these things. Main reason is you're efficient with your time. At the end of this inspection, my report will be written. I'll have a summary immediately available, but the full report, I may say, give me a few hours or give me tonight, or I'll do it over lunch just to make sure I put everything in there. I want all the photos and the videos in the right places and things like that. But basically, I'm managing my time. And I'm also reducing mistakes, helping me reduce my liability by following an inspection checklist that's in my hand. That's really valuable. I don't have to remember everything. And if I see something like maybe there's a problem with this railing, I can write the report with these beautiful illustrations from InterNACHI's gallery to help me explain what's going on. And maybe I just at that moment, I had a brain pause, right? And I can't remember, how tall is it is it supposed to be 36 inches, 38 inches? Is it 4-inch diameter sphere or a 6 1/4? When's it, okay? Not only is it helping me do a better inspection, it helps me communicate to my client who better understands their own deck, for example. So taking a look at everything that I can. I can't crawl under there. I love to crawl under decks, but I can't. I love to see where the deck floorboards or ledger board attaches to the house. I want to see flashing there. I can't really see. It looks okay. Looks pretty good. Looks like it's separated. It's not grooved into the stucco. The stucco isn't draining. I'm not sure what's going on, but looks okay. Looks good. I'm not sure if they attached it on top of the stucco. Looks like they did. Not a good idea. I'm not going to call it out. I'm just going to look for the flashing areas and see if we have any moisture problems. And it's covered with snow anyway. So I get my broom out. I have a hand broom for the roof and other areas, and I have a stick broom to sweep things. Excuse me. So I can't see everything, but I broom it off, do my best. Okay, then now I'm moving. I keep moving around. So this is the exterior over the deck. They have a canopy attachment. I'm not an expert on canopy attachment. I'm just going to take a look. I'm not even sure if it even works, or I'm not even sure how it works. Doesn't matter. It's not in my standards of practice, and I'm going to just disclaim it. What I am going to inspect and help my client with are, because they probably won't call me about this canopy attachment thingy. They'll just ask the seller. I'll put it in the report as this is a component that you should ask the seller for more information because it's not part of my inspection. That's a standard statement I say a lot, right? What I am going to put in the report is this loose, I don't know if you saw it, loose window screen. This is something my clients call me about. Drives me crazy because this is kind of minor, a loose window screen. So I have a little check mark. Okay, loose window screen. I'm trying to find big major problems for my client, and they pick on loose window screens. I don't like cracks in corners, especially stucco cracks where flashing and water are all coming together. If that crack is any bigger than that, oh, there. Okay, we need some sealant here. We don't want this. This isn't a drainage plane. There's two different materials, expanding and contracting, and they crack. And I don't know did they do the flashing behind there properly? Not sure. You can see it's on the other side. Maybe get a contractor out to give you some advice. That's probably best. I'm doing my best to point my client in the right direction by giving them valuable information. This is valuable information. We want to stop open areas prone to water penetration from affecting the interior of the wall envelope with moisture. Maybe some sealant is needed. And what kind of sealant? Well, let's get a contractor out who's familiar with the neighborhood, stucco, and can make recommendations. Because I think the homeowner can do many of these seal jobs. Exterior receptacles need to be GFCI protected. Looks good. See anything wrong? Yeah, I do. Yeah, see it again. Ready? That's water coming down this little thing, right? The little roof here. And there's no gutter, so it drains and it just causes a cosmetic issue on the outside. But there's no kick out either. So if there's water on the outside, there I'm not saying there is, could be water on the inside of the wall that no one knows about. And we don't want that. And where does it come? It just drains down. Probably every rainstorm makes stains on the wall. Drives some people nuts. Got any problems here other than the dog eating something? But this step is too high. This step is 10 inches high. So this is a trip hazard, especially if you're coming out. Coming up, you're gonna like kick it and then trip forwards. That's not too bad because but coming down, people really fall. So, they're expecting the floor to be right there and it isn't, and then they go down. So that's me brooming again, just trying to see if there are any trip hazards on the walks. That's me brooming the asphalt driveway, trying to see if there's anything going on. There's a crack that was sealed in the concrete walk. No big deal. But again, that step there is the hazard. And it's a pretty good one, 10 inches, right? There's the door to the left, door to the right, more window stuff. There we go. That's that's an opening that needs to be attended to, don't you think? We don't want a hole in our exterior wall materials. It's supposed to be water resistant, waterproof stuff. There's a detail that's has mesh, exposed mesh. Looks like they maybe didn't do this well enough. It wasn't thick enough or something. Or maybe this was damaged. Maybe a ball hit this corner. So we want that to be repaired too. So now we have a couple areas. Contractor can come and make sure this is sealed up too. And we've got this problem here. You can see like staining on the outside. It's pretty easy for me to see, but I'm trying to explain to my client that this is water. This isn't water on cosmetically on the outside only. It could be water going elsewhere, maybe behind this, maybe under here, right? Here we go. Same thing. So it's cracked in the corner. I understand, settlement expected, but look at all the water. Look at all that water getting in there. So I've got a moisture meter. We're going to run some moisture meters at the corners of these windows on the inside and at the baseboard band rim joist down in the basement. See if water came all the way down there. See if water is traveling down through here, right? Hey, Jose, I see your hand up. Here's more. I think it wasn't damaged. It just wasn't finished. Like this stucco detail here. This is I can see mesh here, you know. So it's kind of like I have some stucco concerns, right? This is good information for my client. I'm providing, my job is to, in wintertime, you really pop this off so it doesn't burst. My job is to provide my client valuable information so that they can make smart decisions. That's my whole job. And then on the other side, the perspective of my client is the perceived value of that information that I provide, is the perceived value of the service that I provide overwhelmingly valuable in relation to the cost? Is it overwhelmingly valuable in relation to the cost? Your goal as a home inspector is to overwhelm your clients with value, even perceived value in marketing in relation to the cost. So if I can find thousands of dollars of things to go fix in relation to the cost of getting that information, that's a pretty good deal for my client. This is a vent there for the fireplace. That's a garage door bottom on the left, bottom on the right. The downspout is just dumping right next to the garage floor. So that's not good. We don't want that settlement. And there's more, no kick out there. And it's causing cracking. You can see these are pieces I can put my finger in there and grab that piece and pull it right out. Looks pretty good, right? Stone. More water. Look at that large crack there. A dent in the screen. Stone. Looks pretty good, right? What about that one? Yeah, that's probably just an entry for a squirrel or a mouse or something like that. Some areas of the stucco exterior need to be repaired at that detail of the window there and underneath the gutter. And that's at the window by the garage door. And then in the front of the house, some stucco here at the bottom corner of the window and above. This looks like the lawn sprinkler system. Gas meter, a plumber shutoff valve. Don't worry about the surface rust, that's okay. Here's the electric meter box secured to the house. The electric line looks good. Underground conduit looks good. And it's grounded to a rod. Very high step. 10 inches here at the front entry, so watch your step. The deck appears to be in good shape. I brushed off the snow a little bit. The railings are sturdy. No major wood rot that I can see. The electric receptacles are live and also protected by a GFCI. If these are dead, reset button is in the garage. Behind the bushes here is the air conditioner unit and water faucet. The AC unit, 4-ton unit, 16 years old. So it's approaching the end of its service. Okay, so you get it, right? So I love video. I love showing my clients, because I think my client was at the inspection, but she wanted to just stay inside because it's cold outside. So I did some exterior videos for my client. And then I played those videos for my client before we shook hands and left so that they had all the information I could possibly give them. I see questions and comments. It's really cool. Talking about software. Let's see. John asks, can you create a collage to tell a story of a defect? Yeah, I have. If I find a defect, man, there's 10 pictures for sure. And then you can throw in as many pictures as you want in your software. How would the infrared camera do on that outdoor moisture meter? Not good at all. It's so cold outside, right? So what you want to do is learn how to use an infrared camera and a moisture meter. They're companions, by the way. You don't use one without the other. Well, you don't use an infrared camera without a moisture meter. And infrared camera will show you anomalies, and it only shows you the temperature differences on the surfaces, essentially, right? So if you're outside, everything's going to be kind of cold. So what you want to do is to find moisture. There's a few tricks, and we have a couple really good infrared courses, and they're all video. I want to show you where they are. Again, nachi.org. You go to any nachi.org page. You get under Get Started, click Training and Education, and then you can do thermal or infrared. Infrared certified thermography inspection course. That's the most recent one. Infrared certified thermography inspection course. And it looks like that with all those logos and the toilet with the infrared and it's leaking. And it's an excellent course. And I'll show you just
the various a minute later.
There's the instructor there.
Fog.
But we also apply knowledge that you
Small
gain.
can lights be a different from the.
And we do actual inspections, but there's just a ton of videos and pictures in this
spreading out from
class.
With the smoke. See all
we
that
explain what
underneath.
There's a missing kickout. I was trying to find it. There's a missing kickout, and what happens when you expose the missing kickout. So they took the gutter away. The gutter end was right there. The missing kickout was here. And then they had to take all this apart. And this is all rotten, and all this had to be repaired. So it's important to have knowledge about the components and then use the right tools to find the implications of those problems. And it could be just a screwdriver, a flashlight. You don't have to have a fancy infrared or moisture meter. So there are some times where an infrared can't help, but there are a lot of places where an infrared can. All right, Spectora, talking about Spectora software. I would use the infrared, call it spalling on the bottom of that large step. No, the settlement of that step is the major problem, not the spalling. And it's not spalling, it's when it's settled, it just cracked that bottom of that step there. Let's go to heating and cooling. That's the next section of the SOP, and they don't make these anymore. This is a natural draft, gas-fired, forced air furnace. It's forced air, has ductwork. Air comes from the house through the air filter, circulated by a blower, goes through the heating burner heat exchanger system, and up through the air conditioner if it's on. It's gas-fired. There's a gas shut-off valve, coupling, drip, pilot. Here's the vent connection exhaust pipe of the gas-fired heating system and a natural draft hood. So air goes in for combustion and goes in for draft as well. This is a low efficiency heating system, so low they don't make them anymore. Now we have medium to high and very high efficiency systems. This is a condensate pipe. This is an air conditioner coil, It produces condensate when it's running in the summertime, and it drains down into a sump pump. That's what this black box is. And this sump pump has a discharge pipe, a tube. I'm going to follow where that tube goes. There's a conduit here to a switch. This is a service switch. You turn this off to turn off the heating cooling system, usually, sometimes, often, to get to the air filter, which is located down here. This is a humidifier. In some climates, you want to humidify the air that's being pushed around. The conditioned air gets humidified in the wintertime when it's dry. That's about it. Doing a home inspection is basically like if you can identify all the systems and components and describe how they work, you're halfway there. Now it's just a matter of does everything work? And if it doesn't, can you report why for your client? What happened? What do you see? Gas shutoff valve, air filter, some labeling there, manufacturer's labeling, and then you remove the cover and you see rust and corrosion. This is not good. This is either flame rollout, water, moisture condensing, or all of them causing corrosion and rust and aging. So throw aging in there as well. You can't see any cracks in the heat exchanger unless it's obvious. It's very difficult, but this heat exchanger is rusted and it's at the end of its life. It's a low efficiency. So I'm going to put in the report. My report is not going to be very favorable to this heating system. It's functional, sure, but if it fails tomorrow, I won't be surprised, and neither will my client, because I'm going to tell them exactly that. End of its service life. There's the exhaust pipes. This is for the vent connections from the heating system and the hot water tank. And then there's the vertical pipe going all the way up through the house, all the way up through the roof that we saw. Remember that rust on the outside from the roof we saw. This is the air conditioner, refrigerant line. I'm touching that. This is the sump pump, humidifier, control for the humidifier, water control for the humidifier, damper control for the humidifier, and the filter. This needs to be replaced every year. And if it hasn't been serviced and cleaned, like in this label, I'm going to recommend that it be serviced and cleaned. That's one of the tricks as a home inspector. If it hasn't been serviced and cleaned in a year, just make that recommendation. And most sellers during a real estate transaction are going to be acceptable to that. Remember, a home inspection is not required. Can't force a seller to do anything, but it's really a good idea to have the heating and cooling system serviced and cleaned every year, whether you're buying or selling the property. There's the old air conditioner unit, shut-off switch. We already saw this. Water hose. I take pictures of the labels. When the air conditioner is running, it's producing condensate. It drains into this and it pumps it out through this tube. Unfortunately, the tube goes into the sewer line. And this is a violation of plumbing code, but I'm not a plumbing code inspector. I just know from InterNACHI's courses, we have a plumbing course, that you're not allowed to do this. This is a violation. This is a code violation. So I would say that this is a major defect. You need a plumber to fix this. And this pipe, this tube from the condensate needs to discharge outside. It's not permitted to discharge like that in here. It could go into a laundry tub or some other type of drain, but of like a floor drain or sink. But it can't do that. That's okay. Plumbing. So now we have, what do we have on the outside? Do we have any major problems so far? Roof. Yeah, we got that. Remember that shingle? So one shingle, dang it. So we need a roofing contractor. How about the exterior? Yeah, we've got flashing, kick out stuff. That could be a roofer or a contractor who's familiar with stucco. We got those open cracks. We have a settlement of the front step. So we need some help on the outside. And now the heating system. Yep, we need an HVAC person. And we also need a plumber too. Here's the water coming into the house, water meter. there, water supply, water shutoff valve, and then drain. So when I do an inspection, I think of water coming in and water going out. Water coming in, some of it gets heated, and then water draining and going through the sinks and tubs and toilets and draining out. And there's a clean out just before it goes outside, just in case there's a clog or something. They'll do a sewer scope through one of those. And looking around at all the plumbing fixtures, looks like we have that looks like a shower. Pretty sure it's a shower and it's leaking. Okay, so we need a plumber, not just for the condensate tube. Now we have an active water leak. Well, is it active? According to the standards of practice, I'm required to report upon active water leaks. Technically, it's dry. Now, an active water leak doesn't mean it's not dripping on your head, right? This is an active plumbing leak. It's obvious. So whenever you see a water mark, might be favorable to you and your client to call it out as an active water leak, an indication of an active leak, either at this plumbing fixture or maybe at the underside of the roofing shingle area, at the flashing area, right? And then have someone say, no, it's perfectly dry. It's perfectly fine. This is not perfectly fine. Even if it's dry, there's a problem. So whenever I see as a home inspector, during a home inspection, during a real estate transaction, a water stain or a couple of water marks on the ceiling of a second floor bedroom, I'm calling it out as an indication of an active roof leak. They knew I was coming. They could have painted it over, but maybe they don't know. A lot of sellers don't know the condition of their homes. They don't actually know that there's a problem. You may think like, oh, the seller doesn't even disclose that there's a roof leak. Most people don't even know. Now, most homes don't have major problems. Some do. Again, that's a reason to get your home inspected. No one knew about this plumbing leak. For some reason, no one knew, and no one was fixing it. You got to fix these things. Is it going to flood the basement? No, but it's a plumbing leak that needs to be fixed. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is clean. This is a tub. You can see a tub here. There's a drain pipe. There's nothing leaking here, right? This is a leak. That's good. Some strange things going on with the plumbing. Looks like maybe the plumber or the homeowner or something was doing some things. This is interesting where he got the flexible stainless steel to the fixtures. Looks like maybe a tub upstairs or a sink or something. Interesting installation. It's okay. There's a drain pipe there. Oh no, that's not a drain pipe. What is that? That's not PVC. There's a central vacuum system. I'm always cautious when a plumber decides to go right through solid lumber with a big hole. There's some shimming going on to hold the pipe in place. Don't like that very much. Looks like there were some watermarks there too. Just want to run a lot of water. I'm not there all day. I don't know what has happened in the past. I can certainly put that in report as a question for my client. I'm not going to ask the seller what has happened in the past. I'm telling my client, this is what I see. Indications of a plumbing leak. Maybe it has been fixed. Doesn't look like it because like the shim has watermarks on it. Please ask the seller or the occupant or the homeowner or the real estate agent for more information about this plumbing leak in the past. Has it been fixed? Great. I hate when they just chop right in the middle of a floor joist there. Water heating equipment. Now, you could use code to your advantage. I refer to 2021 IRC Chapter 28. It's all about water heating equipment. You can call it a water heater tank, hot water heater, whatever it is. It's really called water heating equipment or water heater. And that's any appliance that heats potable water and supplies it to the potable hot water distribution system of the building. And that's chapter 28 of the 2021 IRC. If you go there, you learn everything about water heating according to code. And that's what we do at InterNACHI. We take standards, best practices, and building codes and incorporate them into our courses. So if you wanted to learn about the 14 requirements of the water heater TPR discharge pipe, not the TPR valve itself, the discharge pipe that's attached to the TPR, there's 14 requirements. That's in our course. It's based upon code. And here's our water heating equipment. There's the TPR valve, TPR discharge pipe. 14 requirements just for this. How are you going to remember that when you're inspecting? Dun, dun, dun. You have your mobile device that has a cheat sheet on this section. So you go to water heating equipment, you click, you can add notes. I think it's a note reminders at the top about the 14 things about the TPR discharge pipe. I take a picture of the manufacturing label, has all kinds of stuff, but basically the capacity of the water tank is what I'm shooting for. Who installed it when. I don't turn any of that. I just put my hand on there. That's how you turn it. And I'm going to keep it that way. Right. So someone's on vacation, looks like on vacation mode. Got it. Water is coming in. Oh, sorry. Fuel's coming in. It's a gas fired hot water tank. Water's coming in through a shutoff valve. There's a TPR valve, discharge pipe, the bottom of the tank, FVIR, safety device for the hot water tank, and it looks very clean on the bottom. Basement foundation structure. Next one. It's all based upon the standards of practice, nachi.org/SOP. Also would like to know what the white is on the copper pipe. The white is on the copper pipe. Copper pipe? Like that? Oh, yeah. A leak, right? The deposits left behind. That's a drip. Could be copper, but that's like, um, calcification, maybe. So, um, see, Jose out with infrared. No, okay. Nobody on YouTube. No one's saying anything on YouTube. Hope it's still live on YouTube. Basement, pretty clean basement. This is a really nice inspection. I love a clean basement. Fantastic. Poured reinforced concrete wall, painted white. Fantastic. That's great. Let's see if I can find any. Well, the major thing would be like a crack that has water coming through. That's what I don't want. Those are easy to fix with epoxy, but that's what I'm going to look for. Floor joists look great. Bridging. Whoops. So we got a sump pump, but it's filled with water. I took the lid off and it's just filled with standing water. That should be pumped out, right? There's the underground drainage pipes collecting any kind of water that may be underneath the basement concrete floor and the gravel layer, and it just drains in here. Let's put a pump in there, so that the indoor air quality issues are taken care of, right? We don't want standing water. You got a receptacle right there. That's the doorbell. Uh, See a crack in the corner of the basement. Common hairline, no displacement, no large openings, some water on top of the paint, right? So maybe during a rainstorm, it leaks. Maybe, maybe not. This is an easy fix. Epoxy. They'll inject epoxy there, and the strength of the epoxy is stronger than the concrete itself. Pretty cool. So it's a structural repair. It's not silicone. And at the top of the foundation wall, there's a joist on the band, the rim of the house, where the floor joists are attached. The ends of the floor joists are attached. So this is the outer wall, edge of the house. And there's insulation there. That's great. But I'd like to see what's behind the insulation. So I get this tool. And it's a three tine, not time, three tine hoe. And I heat up one, and I bend it straight a little bit and keep the others curved, and it's extendable. So let me see. So, okay. Right now I can reach things, reach very far, right? And I can pull insulation, and I can put it right back. I can pull insulation, look behind it, and I can put it right back. I can tap things. I can tap, like see if it sounds good. It's like a prick test. See if the wood sounds good. See if the wood sounds good. And then if I see watermarks, I can use this device. And this is kind of handy because it's right. So like a moisture meter, it's two probes, two prongs, and a video, audio and visual indicator. And it's also extendable. And so I can reach things and see if it's wet. Or I can do the opposite. I can see if the floor padding underneath the carpeting is wet. These two things I like. These two tools. Give me these two tools, an infrared camera, a moisture meter, a flashlight, a GFCI tester, a voltage leak tester, a ladder. These are the tools that make money. So they're a lot of fun to use too. So I'm looking around. What am I looking for? Termite infestation, carpenter ants, watermarks, anything that's looking like it's wet or damp. Oh, I pulled insulation away. I see watermarks. Watermarks. Maybe it's the windows. Maybe it's the kickoff flashing. Maybe they just keep pouring water on a plant and it overflows. I don't know. More watermarks. See that? See the watermarks? Looking around, looking around, looking around, looking around. So I don't know what's going on. Guess what? I don't have to figure it out. It's actually wet. I don't have to figure it out. Put it in the report. Tell my client my observations and tell them get more information from the seller and have it fixed. Cracks on the concrete floor, they can either control them with control brakes or not, and they didn't. So they just decided to let the concrete floor crack, and that's just fine. It's not opening up. There's no large settlement, displacement, or is any water coming through. It's just fine. Electrical's next. Let's see. Let's see. Great points. Mark is high from minerals for watch water, calcium. Yep. That's the white marks on that pipe. That's right, Daniel. Would this crack, would these cracks in the basement be considered hydrostatic pressure? If there's structural movement, then yeah, right? I guess hydrostatic pressure, if it doesn't cause structure problems, I guess it's still pressure, but I don't know. So what we have is a fantastic foundation structural course, and you can see lots of examples of cracks that don't need to be repaired and cracks that do. And the cracks that do have water coming through them and or movement. Okay. We don't want that. Dan, that's my thought. Reportable. What brand of moisture water meter? It's called, it says Dry Ease, but I have no idea. I got it on Amazon. I would take a picture of the report and major defect. Okay, cool. Glad you guys are talking to each other because I don't know anything. How would you infrared camera? Okay, looks good. All right. Let's keep going. Electrical meter outside, phone cable, grounding wire, electric meter, electrical panel box, panel board, 200 amps. This was built without AFCIs. I'd put that in a report as a recommendation. You're not required to remove the dead front cover, but I do in order to look at things like the main lugs, the size of the wires going into the size of the breakers, making sure there's no overfusing, looking for anything melted or corroded, looking for anything that's installed or not installed properly. And there's a really good electrical course we have, and we updated that course. And if you wanted to learn about grounding, bonding, and how to inspect an electrical panel board, we even have a really good article and videos as well. So all this looks great. Fireplace. We saw the stack on the outside, remember? I'd like to get up on top, but I can't. That's okay. It's an inspection restriction. It's a factory built fireplace with a gas log insert. I turned it on, nice flames. It's a damper control to keep it open because it's on a pilot. The walls look good. You can burn wood in there, but they put gas log in there. A gas log set with glass doors. And I don't know what that is. Looks like a water drip. Could be just a splash. Looking for any kind of rust. There's no rust inside. Is that a water drip? Like I'm always thinking about water, you know? Can't help it. Attic. Remember attic and time management? I started this job at 8 or a little bit before that, do the roof before my client showed up. And it's now 10 o'clock. I know that I'm on time. I'm managing my time well. And I'm in the attic. Perfect. I'm looking for structural problems. This cannot be modified after it's installed. Can't have anything cut after it's installed. Looking for roof leaks around areas, around anything that penetrates the roof. I'm going to look for a roof leak. It all looks really good. Soffit vents, soffit trays, ventilation. This is insulation. I can't, it's an inspection restriction. I don't want to walk in the attic really because there's no flooring for me. But I'll take a look around as much as I possibly can to give my client enough information that they may need. Approximate depth of the insulation. It's all blown in insulation. Looks really good. Nice and fluffy. Okay, I don't have any watermarks or any problems in the attic. Ridge vent. Okay, main bathroom upstairs. Now I'm in the interior. Should take me about 15 minutes to get to the kitchen. That's where I'm heading, remember? I'm heading to the kitchen. Flush all the toilets, run all the sinks, hot and cold water, look at for P-traps, any leaks at the valves, any leaks at the drainage pipes. The drainage pipes should not crush or fall apart in my hand, neither should the valves. I'm in the shower. I go in there before I run water. I push on the walls just like you would if you happen to lose your balance in the shower. You slip a little bit, picking up the soap, and your elbow goes into the wall. I want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to prevent, nothing's damaged. You know, water damage behind a tiled shower wall is impossible to see without pushing on it. I push on it, I hit it, I smack it, I punch it, I wiggle it, all kinds of stuff. I direct water where you wouldn't normally direct. I try to direct shower water into the corners. I try to make it fail. I'm there to make this leak. If I can make it leak, I have found a defect. I try to make things fail. I try to make things leak. I try to break things using normal operating controls. If I grab this and it breaks into my hand, that's a good thing. I found this problem. I damaged it, right? Technically, I pulled the shower head off the wall into my hand, but it shouldn't do that. I pounded on the tile wall. My hand went through the wall. It shouldn't. It shouldn't do. I should be allowed to push on my tile wall, especially if there's no grab bars or handlebars and I need assistance. I'm going to use this wall to hold my body. It's like this. It's exactly like shaking a deck railing, pulling on a deck railing or pushing on a deck railing. It should hold you. It has to. And if the deck railing falls to the ground and you damaged it, good job. See my point? So remember that those two flexible lines that went up? I think that's what they did here. I think they installed some new fixtures or something, or a new tub. This looks like a new tub they plopped down into the old tile thing, I think. And that's what's going on. Oh well. Looking at the corners, looking at the corner, making pushing on the corners. This is actually the step. This is a step, making sure, you know, and it looks like they removed the door. I want to make sure that there's nothing going on here. We shouldn't have any. I put my foot there and I try to push my heel and my toes into this corner because if it's water damaged, my foot will damage these tiles. And that's what I want to do. I want to put my foot in these corners here to see if water has damaged the tiles and no one knows until the home inspector comes. There's no plumbing access panel for the shower. I like plumbing access panels so I can see things. There's GFCI protection in the bathrooms. That's good. There's a vent that goes outside. That's good. The door closes and opens. That's good. And there's a control for the bubbly water. Second floor full bath. Flush the toilet. Look for plumbing leaks. The sink. There was a plumbing leak here. I'm concerned about it. I'll just put in the report as a prior leak. Looks like the fitting, the slip fitting, right? I hate those. May have come loose or something. Again, I'm trying to direct the water to see if it'll leak. GFCI protection. There's a plumbing bathroom access. Sometimes you'll see watermarks and things, and no one knows until you open up that plumbing access panel. You're not required to, but you can. First floor half bath, same thing. Flush the toilet, run the sink, GFCI, vent, door, floor, wall, ceilings. Laundry. This is a problem. Corrosion, water leaks, old valves, wrong hoses, right? Missing GFCI protection. There's the vent. Ideally, second floor laundry would have a water catch pan. It could still overflow, but sometimes it's a really great idea when you have a water leak catch pan underneath the second floor laundry. It really helps out. If you can catch it first for a little bit, or maybe the slow leak, right? If it has a drain, that's even best. Interior. There's the central vacuum. What I do is I just open it up and see if it's filled, and it is. That's right. So, okay, it needs some service and cleaning. Run all of the representative number of windows, doors, receptacles. I check the lights and the fans and things like that. I pull the floor register off as well, and I stick my hand under there and I pull out stuff. Usually the builders, oh, it's such a clean area while the house is being built. They're just shoving that stuff down the ductwork. They just broom it in there, and it just stays there. And then the dog hair goes in there, right? And there's insects and all that stuff. Blah. So a lot of people nowadays, for some reason, they're highly allergic to indoor air quality issues. We're very sensitive now. So my clients are very sensitive to things. And if they get a picture of what's, the furnace are the lungs of the house. So take a look at the lungs, right? Stick your hand in there. You don't have to. Put a camera in there. Get a short scope in there and take a picture. See what the lungs are doing for your clients. If the ductwork is dirty as all heck, what do you think the indoor air quality is? Right? But Ben, I'm a home inspector. Okay, whatever. People are hiring me. People, well, no longer, but people hire me because I was trained and certified in a variety of things. And I love talking about the health of a house. We have a healthy homes training and certification program, a college training and certification program. It will take you months to complete. It's a very in-depth training program about healthy homes. Let me take you there. I think every home inspector should be aware of this. Let's see. What's the best way? I'm trying to figure out that amusement park ride, right? Like I'm trying to get you through the front door. So here's the Healthy Homes Inspector certification. And there are 14 parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, all the way down to 14. And when you complete it, you get this nice logo that you're a Healthy Homes Inspector. You can download the logo and you can have help with branding and marketing that you're a Healthy Homes Inspector. Every home inspector should know what a healthy home, well, should know what the factors that make up a unhealthy home are, just to help your clients, right? Or not, or not. It's up to you whether you want to brand yourself or not. It's called diversification. It's really good to be diversified in your services. And InterNACHI helps out with that. We have over 60 additional types of inspector certification. So if you want to be a home inspector, that's great. But man, I encourage everybody to get trained and certified in additional types of services so you can diversify your services and brand yourself as a holistic, well knowledgeable home inspector who can provide services to various types of clients and talk intelligently on various topics, like having the lungs of the home cleaned. All right, some of the doors are sticky. Remember that settlement crack? I think the house settled a little bit and some of the doors are sticky. I'm not freaking out about it. I don't think the seller or my client is either. There's skylights. Remember those skylights I couldn't get to? I'll look below the skylights, see what's going on. There's a stick, so I'll open up each one, close each one. Normal operating controls. Everything should work. If anything breaks in my hand, that's not supposed to happen. Open and close every window. Sometimes I'll open a window and it breaks in my hand. I once did a casement window and it fell out the second floor window. Second floor bedroom window fell out and landed in the landscaping below me. Thank God no one was below me. Yeah. Now, someone would say, well, you damaged the window and you got to repair it. Nope. Nope. I found the problem using normal operating controls. Did I damage it? I guess so. It wasn't wasn't anything else that put that window in the landscaping 20 feet below. That was me. But it's a good thing. I opened that window while I did. Find those problems for your clients. Like this little guy. This is supposed to be a spring operated little ball that pushes up and kind of locks in the door. It didn't work. Um, I guess you could say I damaged it, but it was already not working. Very minor repair. Take pictures all over the place so that when someone says, "Hey, did you see the large stain on the floor of the entry?" I'll be like, "Well, let me take a look. It was covered by a carpet, right?" Or, "Hey, was there a carpeting in the dining room area?" Nope, there wasn't. Or, "Was there carpeting on the stairs when we did the inspection?" Yes, there was. Was that working at the time? Were all the light bulbs working at the time of the big chandelier at the time of the inspection? Yes, they were. So take a look at that, just taking pictures of everything. This is the interior. So it's basically just looking at a representative number of stuff. I'm looking at the bottom corners of these are blurry pictures, but looking at the bottom corners of those skylights, because that will indicate whether there has been problems or not. Attached garage, we got a garage door opener. We open and close it. And this is the defect. There are no safety eyes, safety reverse, automatic, reverse, infrared eyes, whatever you want to call them. Go to nachi.org page, get started, get trained, and type in garage. And we have a how to perform a garage course. It's really good. You can get a logo after you take it too. And there's 10 steps to perform a garage door inspection. And there's a checklist for you, a garage door inspection checklist. And there's 10 things that you can do. to inspect a garage door opener. So if you wanted to have that in your hand, that checklist, while you're performing a garage door opening inspection checklist, that's fantastic. It's a fantastic resource, really good resource. And this is a defect. It's supposed to be a safety feature there, and it's missing. Can't see everything, but I'm looking around, using my flashlight, getting into the corners. There we go, using a flashlight, looking for that termite infestation, looking for that moisture intrusion, looking for the fastening of the bottom plate to the foundation, looking for bolts, some water stains here. Is it from the stucco on the outside? Possibly, because this is the bottom of the wall, and above this is a missing kickout area. I'm trying to piece these things together. Look at that. What is going on there? This looks like this is not a watermark from the inside out. This is a watermark from the outside in. Look at the water damage on the sheathing and no water damage on this stud. Right? Interesting. Love being a home inspector, trying to figure stuff out. But it comes to a certain point where I can't spend 2 hours here. Can't diagnose this. What I am required to do is report upon the things that I both observe and deem to be a major problem. And this is one of them. If I don't see it, it's not in a report. If I don't think it's a major problem, it's not in a report. But if it's those two things, if I see a major problem, it's going to be in the report. That's my job. I don't have to find all of the problems in the home, and I don't have to technically diagnose all the problems that I do see. Just have to tell my client, I see indication, I observed indications of this defect during my visual only inspection. Lawn irrigation systems, if you ever want to add a little like fee to perform a lawn irrigation system inspection, we have that training course. It's a fantastic course. I just keep referencing because this is part of marketing a business, right? How are you going to do an inspection if you're not diversified in all these different types of services, right? I mean, how many of your clients have, a lawn irrigation system and you could help them out? Why not be the one-stop shop? So go to the lawn irrigation system course and log in, enter your license number if you need to. And let's check this out. There he is.
Landscape and irrigation system.
So that's Jim, and he's going to show you how to, I love his hat. He's going to show you how to do an irrigation system inspection, especially what is all that stuff, right? What is that? What is that? And how do you pull it apart? And then like all those valves and stuff and all these things that you see in the box, in the yard, what do they do? What do they do? He's going to show you how to do it. So you know what to do during an inspection. You can at least comment upon it if you're not going to fully inspect it. And there's GFCI. I hate GFCIs in the garage that have something plugged into it, like a refrigerator. Oh, make sure you reset the GFCI in the garage into which the refrigerator is plugged in, right? Oh, and then there's a water faucet, and it looks like it drips a little bit and causes some damage. That's minor stuff. Okay. Kitchen. This is the major defect. No, it's not the wallpaper color. It's in pattern. That is a major defect, though. This is a settlement crack, and it's common, and they can't patch it because it's wallpaper. So they had to leave the crack there for us inspectors to take a look at. And I wouldn't call it out. It's no big deal. It's actually expected. These two load-bearing points are very close to each other. This is a weak point here, wherever there's like a corner where planes are intersecting. Same thing here. And these two, this settled a little bit, and this found it, and it just cracked one to another. I really like this picture. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And if you want to know what's going on behind the drywall, we have a residential structural design course as well, where we take a look at the load-bearing components of everything. Stove, oven, microwave. That's a microwave leak detector. That's a good thing when it lights up. And then that's a dishwasher. If it leaks on the floor, don't worry about it. You found the leak. That's great. I run a short cycle to make sure everything works. This is a brand new dishwasher, but sometimes they don't work. And then the garbage disposal, brand new home, new construction, run that garbage disposal. Those contractors just dump stuff into the sink a lot of times, not all the time. And looks like we've got that instant hot water tank, and sometimes they leak a little bit. So it looks like we had a leak back there. So that's another, see the leaks from the hot water dispenser? GFCI protection, no GFCI protection. We were missing GFCI protection at the kitchen counter receptacles. All kitchen counter receptacles and more need to be protected by GFCI. Report summary. I do a report summary. There were 2 pages on that one. No pictures, just straight shooting. Here's what needs to be fixed. Take this list to Home Depot, Lowe's, and start working on those things, or call a contractor. Termite inspection report, didn't see anything. There's a little 10 reasons why termites invade. And then the full inspection report, there it is. And what I do is I do 3 pictures across, and I start with roofing. Actually, my report reflects my inspection process. The first thing in my report is roofing. That's the first thing that I inspect. And that's the first thing of the standards of practice. Second thing are the components. So the roof is the main system, and then I break it down into components and what I saw with each component. Fireplace, that's a system. I've broken it down into components. Exterior, that's a system. And I break it down into components. Garage, broke it down into components. Okay. So I try to throw in as many pictures as possible. There's the leak. If there's a problem, it's all red, capped, bolded, italicized. I am not going to hide problems in my inspection report. I'm trying to get my client's attention. Correction and further evaluation is recommended. You got to fix this stuff. Everything else is black and blue, but red is, you know, I'm trying to tell my client, I'm not going to try to hide defects. I'm trying to tell my client these are problems that need to be fixed. Anything that's red, even if it's an improvement needed, I'm going to put that in the report as red. But the major defects, that you need a contractor, or it's going to hurt somebody, that's in the summary. So there's the epoxy that's needed, red, correction and further evaluation. You need some epoxy at the foundational cracks. Need somebody to install a sump pump for you, right? You got to do it. Maybe battery backup. And that's the inspection report. There's the kitchen. A little abbreviation of the standards of practice. Here's illustrations. You can put illustrations to boost your inspection report looking and the information you provide to your clients from InterNACHI's illustration gallery. It's free, downloadable to everybody who's an inspector. And then there's a report conclusion and walkthrough. I tell them about the pre-closing walkthrough. If I haven't scheduled it already, I'm going to remind them that just before you sign on the line, like, you have a right to go back in, especially if we find problems and they're going to promise to fix them. We can go back in just before closing. Closing starts at, let's say 1, we go in at noon. It only take less than an hour to look at the things that we found before. And there's a little conclusion thing, that you and I understand that I can't see through walls, and that I followed the standards of practice, and that you've read them and understood them. We're on the same page, right? And then I leave a letter for the seller or the occupant or the building owner saying, we did a lot. We touched just everything. We tried to put it all back. And I wear indoor only shoes. All my inspectors wear indoor only shoes. So if you see a foot mark, that wasn't me. I love that. And that was a home inspection on this house. Did you have fun? I did. I think we did a little over 2 hours, right? If you all have questions, feel free to email me. I'm on the contact page, or Let me give you my email right now. But I'm going to take a look. Don't leave now. I'm going to take a look to see if anybody has any chat questions or questions there. Okay. ben@internachi.org. This is all I do. This is my job is to help you. Just like those 30 people who work for you. Imagine if you had to hire 30 people to work for you, you wouldn't be able to afford it. But as an InterNACHI member, you can. Remember, leverage those resources that are provided to you. And here's one of them, ben@internachi.org. That's me. Email me, ask me anything. If I don't have the answer, I'm going to find the answer for you. I'm going to direct you somewhere where you can get that answer. Okay. Does the garage attic access need to be fire rated? Uh, there shouldn't be one. Yes, if there is, but the best thing is there's no opening in the ceiling of a garage. Never. Ben, your retention policy of the delivery has been provided. Ben, has your retention policy after a final delivery has been provided? John, I'm not sure what you're saying. Retention policy. I don't know what that means. I don't have a retention policy. Final delivery has been provided. I don't know what that means. Okay. Thank you for, okay. I'm going to be a licensed home inspector without having Daniel, go to nachi.org/Florida and scroll down to the wood destroying insect section on that page. nachi.org/Florida. In fact, if you're in any state like Texas, nachi.org/Texas. New York, 2 words, make it 1 word. nachi.org/New York. Okay. The same thing with North Dakota and 2 words. nachi.org/California. nachi.org/North Carolina. Go to your state page and scroll down that state page and get all the information you need that's state specific. Okay. All right. Looks good. All right, everybody. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'll see you at the next inspection or the next webinar. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Have a lot of fun. Stay safe and healthy, everybody. And if you ever need help, feel free to reach out. Really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. Thanks. Bye, y'all.